Okay, back to temple time. That looks pretty good from a distance. Since the last time, which was last week, I extended the road a little bit from over there, did some light landscaping to make sure that the road has at least gotten up to here. There's still plenty of stuff to do that way, so I'm not gonna exceed my necessary need. It is now straight on smack dab in the center here, so we can work on the kind of funnel-esque funneling of getting the path to the way we want it. So hopefully that'll be nice. Finished replacing all the floors and getting all the nooks and crannies, because everyone loves the nooks and crannies. Let's get some light in for now so we can see what's going on. So, yep, we've got our places. We've got our pedestals, or at least the start of our pedestals. So all of that can be good. And around everything, like I had planned, it looks like it has, well, it kind of looks like. It's not done yet, but it looks like it is slightly buried, which looks kind of cool. I definitely need trees. There's a kind of stark plainness. Didn't see you before. There's going to be so many tiny, tiny holes in this map that I am just going to miss entirely, and I don't like that feeling, but it's what we got to go with. But yeah, that is that. And then you can see here, it looks like it's in the wall, kind of. It grew around, not grew around, but it buried itself over time slightly. There is stuff here that I like. Right, so what is today's plan? Well, I want to finish detailing this, because as of right now, the only real thing that I need to landscape is this little area. You can see the under bit here on how it was constructed. We don't want that. So I'm going to want to put that over there. Definitely landscaping. This area needs trees and flowers and other bits and pieces. But that's kind of going to have to be the last thing we do, because I need to kind of... It's a little flat. It's a little flat on how this all looks. So I'm gonna need to make sure it doesn't look as flat. Unfortunately, the only two things that I can use here are smooth and normal stairs. I'm surprised there isn't a quartz brick stair. Very surprised. So that's gonna... We'll even take the... Well, no, we'll wait to see that. So it's gonna take a little bit of fine-tuning here. But I think out of the two, it's gonna have to be the regular quartz block here, because it at least has like a little bit... armrest there. It has a little bit of like a color difference. See, I've used it here already. So we'll want to change that too. I'm gonna want to put here like so. Yeah, that'll kind of work. Not you, not there. No, come on. Don't make me break this place in order to fix you. There we go. There we go. Yeah, already that kind of looks a little better. Here's a little questionable, though. Do I want it like that, or do I want it down? I think I want it down, but... then I have to deal with that. Which isn't the worst. Here it is, though. This is. So do I actually, you know what? Do I bring this down a smidge? In order to get it looking a bit more proper. Nope, not there. Stay put. Like so. Then I would have to delete this, because that actually looks like it has a natural end to it, which I'm okay with. So that would be like that. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. And then the rest being buried kind of is fine with that. Okay, that I can work with. So we'll change that up. Gotta flatten... right? Yeah, I just wanted to see where that goes. It's about there. Yeah, that's where I thought it was. So, here. Oops. Don't break that. Yes, Mr. Cow. You're safe for a moment. My problem solver doesn't need to solve your problem right now. Unless you get in my way. There we go on that. Yeah, back like that. That looks fine. And then here... I hate when I have to undo work that I took like 10 minutes to do. Though, we'll take care of it. It's fine. We can bury some of this. So the edge will go there. Stop doing it. There we go, and then we'll work on the grass situation here. There we go. Yep, the dirt can just kind of go up like that. Like this. So I can go kind of like that. Like that. Beautiful. And then, yeah, I see my night vision's wearing out. I can't see a fucking thing now. Oh, God, I fell real far there. There we go. Actually, you know what? We need to be there. Beautiful. Back out the top. There's no... I don't think there are any animals inside. Oop. God damn it. I don't think there are any animals locked inside there, so we don't need to worry too much. Yeah, this needs a little bit of work. But that should... Oh, right, I moved the bed, didn't I? No, I had to remove the bed because the road was here. And I never replaced one. There we go. That'll help. That'll help speed some things up. Okay, so let's actually work here first. What does that look like if I remove it? Actually, not terrible. This in itself is the problem. That was in itself the problem. If I go over here then... Yeah, because this is buried. And looking a little flat, but... There's some stuff we can do. But, for right now, that's okay. So where do we put these quartzy things? Do we go here? It could work. If I go like that, move them in, we're just going to see what it looks like. So here's where the problem comes in. How far do you see in there? Pretty far. So let's... put that in like so. It's the fact that there's a small gap that I don't like. I really don't. I guess we'd have to stop it there, because it's buried. So if I do that, and I go along the edge here, we at least have a little bit of a break when it comes to what we're looking at. It's not so flat. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. If I then extend that, I'm okay with it. I was a little worried that I wouldn't be, but it looks alright to me. In here, I had a vision of putting like a little design. I don't know what the design will be, but that's what I'm thinking. And then, yeah, let's take a little bit from the bottom too. Because then at least it doesn't look so flat. We're gonna have to work on lights next, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Because I can't see a goddamn thing. There we go. So that at least looks the same. Yeah, and that looks the same too. Alright, let's clear the inventory and start working on some lighting. Because this is a big area, and it's really difficult to see. I'm leaning, let's see, where am I leaning to? I don't know if we want to go copper. Copper isn't exactly what we want. So I'm leaning towards redstone lamps, because they have a little bit more control on when you can turn them on and off as well. And I'm leaning towards having lights go off every time. Well, certain areas. Once you put something on, once one of the plinths has been, you know, the wool has been put on the plinth, then something lights up for that area. So that's what I'm thinking. just need to figure out where that goes, because there's a couple ideas that I had too. Instead of having just all of them out at once, we put the tutorial dungeon, which is the Aqua dungeon, which I know it's not a great idea to have a water dungeon is the first dungeon you go to, but I think that's how it's going to have to be. I'm thinking that only the water area here, only the water dungeon is seen. And then once you place the wool, the others open up. But then I'm going to have to worry about gravity and sand textures and pistons everywhere. And no, I'm not going to, I don't think I'm going to do that. So the middle one absolutely is going to be the water dungeon. And then from there, we'll figure out where all the others go. Have a couple ideas on either order of operations from first easiest to next hardest to hardest at the end of the line, which actually I kind of really like. So we'll see how that I'll see how that plays out. But I have to put down for now some lights so we can all see everything. So if I put these things here, here, not too far off. Off the corners here, right, like that. Yeah, like here. Oops, no. There, boom. Lovely, and then we'll move over to the other side. Free coal, nice. And we do that. And, oh, it wouldn't be there. Yeah, no, that's a little different, so we'd have to put it here. There we go. All right, let's grab some milk. Better. We at least can see a little bit, so that's okay. We'll leave that for now so we actually can see what's going on. Ooh, gonna scratch my neck. There we go. Oh, and also uncriss-cross applesauce. My leg is starting to fall asleep. So, okay, what do we want? I guess... because that matches that. How do we want this, then? Do we put it, like, here? Okay, so that's that. At least for around everything. Coming into it. And it looks fine. So I wanted... well, the way I had it originally, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted, was... so I had to change it. This pillar here and this pillar here kind of met in the middle, and then we were going to have a chandelier dropping down. That didn't exactly work out great because of how the arch of the ceiling would. So it kind of met in a weird spot and didn't necessarily work. However, you know what? We'll... let me try something here. So if I go... not for you... so it would meet here. And here. If I put a small arch there. I mean, that could work. Because then we'd maybe mirror this. So I'd put that like so. Like that. Like you. Like that. That kind of's okay. Well, not quite there, is it? Because I'd have to do this down as well. Yeah, then that just looks a little weird. Doesn't have to be. We can maybe change the block. We can change the block to. If I do that, no, that just looks more out of place than not. So we'll undo all of that. Okay, undid too much. Stay. There we are. Okay, because that did that. We undo these. There we go. However, you know what? That doesn't mean we can't put a chandelier or something dangling there and there. Or what is exact center in this setup? I'm going to leave that there for the moment. What is the exact center? Well, we know that this line here is the middle. But where from that is the middle for me? So we'd want to start here. And I want to say here. So 1, 2, 3, 5. 5, 2, 3, 3. Here. Here and here would be technically the middle of the room. One of those two blocks. Okay. So how would we want to do this? I was thinking about putting a chandelier. I haven't actually considered what the chandelier would look like. Because, I mean, we've put a chandelier in the castle. But I don't think that would work here. Not that design. Also, I just realized I still cut too much off of those because there's supposed to be a little bit of a lip. There and there. Okay, well, do I want that to go down one? No, because it mirrors the other two. Okay. So what can we do there? It can't be too low because, well, then it would kind of if it was too low, then it would maybe block line of sight from a distance. So it has to be just low enough where it doesn't crest the lip of these arches. So if I do, I want to count that. Can maybe be one block lower. So that's as low as the chandelier can go. It's got a uvula now. Unless I do like a... I think I want to do some kind of pattern in the roof as well. Because that is looking very square and very plain. So a pattern would also work here. We'll kind of bring that motif and pattern also to here. So I'm not going to worry about that just yet, though. That's like a design thing that I have to draw out and try and figure out. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. Ugh. Yeah, that's gonna take time. I saw a hole there. Now it's gone. Alright, so what light source am I going to use here? Because we have frog lights. Those don't need to be powered. But we're using those at the castle, and then that's gonna... it's not really going to work. Lanterns is a bit too... Yeah, sea lanterns would be too specific because I'm going to be using that for the Aqua Temple. So we can't use sea lanterns. Copper could be used, but because we can place a button on it, we can press it, and we can turn it on, and they don't need a constant redstone signal. Again, glowstone also would be... Glowstone or mushroom. No, shroomlight would be a different place. Glowstone would be for nether, and we don't necessarily want to double up on that. So, again, we need something that is different. We could do a lot of candles. But I don't think that would necessarily look great. It also depends on what kind of copper I want. See here, copper. Because this would be the brightest. But I don't necessarily want copper. I'm thinking the waxed exposed. The waxed weathered, could we... No, then it would get too dim. How does this look next to... Well, okay, let's get a little bit more light here. Oop. Da-dum. Okay, so how does this look next to you? It doesn't look half bad. Let me get... And we can take that off and just leave it on. That's okay. And it does do a decent lighting job. Do I want to put it here? I don't necessarily want the red dot. That shows it has a redstone signal. Yeah, I can probably get away with that. All right, maybe I won't use redstone lamps then. creative process is about building and then destroying what you've built because you're not happy with how it looks. Over and over again. More. Okay. So with that, how does, well, I mean, it looks like a uvula right now, but that'll change. That'll change. So the process here, I will say, isn't about lighting up the room. The process is lighting up the ceiling so it doesn't look pitch black. I think, okay, here's what I think I should do actually right now. I think I need to get creative with my little areas, see how much ambient light there is from that, and then figure out what needs to be lit more. Because like I said, the mosaic up on the roof, I could make that like starry. I could make that look like the night sky, and that would have like bits of light and color to it. So that would be not terrible. That I actually kind of like the idea of. That way I don't have to have anything dangling. We can have the grandiose height. That, you know what? That I'm actually okay with. Alright, we can come back to that later. Okay, so if we're gonna be putting up some wool here, we gotta figure out where it all goes. First and foremost, we'll just put it in front here. This is where the water temple wool is going. That one is, yeah, the center fold. So we've got to do under the sea vibes, yeah? That was terrible. The next, okay. We've got the woods, the haunted woods that is next to the area. So that's gonna be an easy one. The further you out, the harder they are. That's gonna be that one. So those two go away. I don't remember what some of these wools were. The keep, or the crypt under the castle is gonna be another easy one. So that's there. So there's easy, slightly more challenging, but still rather easy. Oh, wait, no, I need that. Same as the pink, but we'll work on that. Boop, there. Where was the pink? What did the pink wool look like? Pink was nether. Pink was nether. Gray was the maze. Purple was... God, it's only been a week and I don't remember. Purple was... Okay, you know what? We're gonna go around and dungeon scope, because I remember some of it, not all of it. So purple was weird Underdark shit. So I know purple is Underdark and gray was the haunted forest maze. I'm missing a dungeon in my head. Where was the one dungeon that I'm thinking? Was it over there? Yes, it was the underground. Why did I make it white, though? Why did I make it white, though? Obvious. Gray is gray here. The island nether portal. I decided not to do red, because red was already motif someplace else. That's why I chose pink for nether. And I guess I chose white as like a placeholder? I don't remember. I legit don't remember. Do I have my speed buff on still? Nope. I've noticed that this actually does make a difference in flying. So when traversing across the map, flying with the speed potion actually is a little bit faster. At least I think it is. It feels like it is. God, there's still so much of this map that I need to fill in. And I'm just talking about... And right now, this is all just talking about, like, dungeon stuff. There's going to be, like, tons of little lootable areas and mini, like, bits and pieces. Out in the middle of nowhere. Why would that be there? So, okay. I think... So, as difficulty-wise, I know that one of the light gray dungeon, and I think the nether dungeon are gonna be the hardest dungeons. So, for now, I'm gonna put you there. And you there. Pink I need. Why did I choose colors that needed that? Yeah, so purple here. And placement color there. So, okay. We've got our water dungeon, our forest dungeon, our ruins dungeon, and our creepy maze dungeon. We've got our crypt dungeon, which is technically also part of the castle, so that's part of its own little quest line stuff. So that's a quest line crypt dungeon. Then we've got Underdark / Deep Dark dungeon and Nether dungeon. The Deep Dark might also be its own challenge. It's just going to be long, but I don't think it's going to be dangerously difficult. The Nether is where shit will go wrong, and so will this here. So I think I have my difficulties properly set up. So with that, let's begin the decorating. So I like that. Let's begin with sea prism. Prismarine, and lanterns. Do I want dark prismarine instead, though? We'll see how this looks. Because we'll want that to be like so. No, that stays like that. Bop, bop. Like so. So we go up, place it, which means those will have to be a little bit outward, like so. And then we'll have a backing here. That's why it's not going all the way out. Because we'll have a design in the back. Okay. That doesn't look half bad. It's not too big, not too small. It fits proper. Maybe the floors will have the designated lights. But then we're going to have to figure out what the designates for lights of each place is going to be. We'll leave that alone for the moment. Let's go. Let's actually get that dark prismarine. Because variety is how we make this look good. That's not half bad. I like that. I actually like that. There, there, and there. Nice. And then we can kind of... Maybe it actually does need to be pushed back a bit. Maybe it does need to be pushed back, and all the other things can be around it. Because we can always, like, put it in the wall. Put things in a wall. So if I do that... Oops. If I do that, put this here. There, there, and there. That middle bit there and there. That looks a little bit better. So we'll push everything back when we design the area. That'll be okay. But that means we need to design the area now. Okay. Let's think. Do I put the prism? Yes, we put them here, 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 here. Ooh, that looks nice. That looks nice. I can work with that. So then we're going to need a background. And we're going to need... Ooh. Now that's actually tricky. Because I wanted to put, like, little touches. I know coral wouldn't work. But I wanted to put, like... thematically sea-like things. So if I... Boop, boop, boop. So if I can put something back here. Let me look at let's look at the natural blocks that we can see. Where is... Here we go. We got seagrass, we got kelp, coral that will absolutely die, but let me take a couple just to double check. Sea pickles could work here too. Yeah, they die immediately because they're not in water, which is a shame. Same here and here, which it would look so good. Having all that kind of stuff, and I can't do anything with that. And seagrass as well. So maybe, okay. Backdrop. Backdrop idea. If I do like an inset aquarium, because we have an inline set aquarium, I have the idea. So we'll need the water layer. Yeah, because it would start here. We'd have that, and then the back, but the back will be its own different colors. So if I can get this right, I'm going to want to also separate the water from the possible redstone that's going underneath, or the definite redstone that's going underneath. And then we'll want to shore this up here. Oh god, playing with water is going to get very dangerous. So, okay. We'll go like that for the moment. So if I grab bucket of water, and I put it here. And then I remove that, is a problem. Because then we've got water coming out everything, and yeah, it has to do the 3. Unless I put a lip in front. But I don't want to put a lip in front, because then that kind of defeats the archway motif as well. So it would have to be set one back. And if I set one back, there could be another option here. Okay, we're gonna experiment just a smidge. If I grab, no, that's coral. Sponge! Here we go. Okay. If I put this here, it's obviously going to come back and whatnot. Needs to touch it. Okay, but then all of it goes away. Okay. I thought it would be like a dividing line here. Unless I do 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it just... Yeah, no, that sucks it all up. So sponge ain't gonna work. I will have to then divot this. Because then... yeah, we can have it down in the back. We can have it flow down, and then behind that, we can have things submerged. Yeah, the inlet doesn't look half bad. I'm okay with the inlet. So, I do want to check. Let's see how this then looks. The edges are too much. Okay, we got a little window now. Let me get that sponge back so it's an easy cleanup. Okay. So, sponge down. There we go. So now... dirt. Check. Because it'll have to be 2. Because then we have the water layer. I think this one's the most complicated one I'm doing, I will say. So we've got the water inlay there. Then we've got the... stuff there. Let's actually see what it looks like with all of that. Oh yeah, I thought the white would be a little bit more pronounced, but it's actually just fine. So we can move on with the idea. So then we want... what coral do we want? We want yellow coral, because that's a good pop. I don't want anything blues or reds. Maybe a little bit of... or purples, actually. The only one I think would work here would be the yellow, because the other colors would be too representational of the other areas. And the blue one is... it would just be too much blue. I mean, I know this is more aquamarine, like... not turquoise. Is it turquoise? It would be a bit much. So we'll do yellow coral. We will have... yeah, we'll do yellow coral. We'll grab that kelp and seagrass and pickle. So at this point then, we'll put that like so. And then I need to put, yeah, let me put this here. Is that going to flow back? No. But we want it to. There we go. Lovely. Actually, do we want to put a little bit of gravel back there? The gravel might actually work better. No, that's andesite. There's stone. That's moss block. There's gravel. No! Sand! Why was I even putting dirt? Ooh, I might be able to get away with that. No, as soon as one goes. I don't know how that's working, but it is. I'll take it. I'll be honest, I will take however that is working. So, let's go. We want a little bit of kelp there and there. Kind of want the... Let's see if that actually survives. Because it's in water. Put it up a little bit higher. Go like that. If I put it out, that's a little too much. No. There we go. Okay, as soon as the kelp goes down, so we're gonna have to just remove that entirely. Yeah, gonna have to stick with our you were working before fine. Where's my sponge? I need to clean up this. Mess. Okay, let's do this again then. Yeah, that's fine there. Actually, do I want to put? Nah. Leave it. Leave the thing. We'll put. Some coral like that. Actually, you know what? Maybe I do want a different pop of color from that. But it looks so similar to the pink and the magenta. You know, let me go with the red would look really nice. And the blue. Now we're going to have to go with red. Oops. There we go. Alright, we'll do that. We'll do a little pop of red there. We'll get a kelp growing with those. Alright, that's not going to be there because that apparently takes a spot. Unless I put water there and then... Yeah, okay. There we go. And then some seagrass right there and there. Fill in the little gaps back here with some seagrass. But I can also, because I learned this when I was doing the landscaping on that area, make that... Dicks! Alright, never mind. Keep it short. Damn it, it was looking good too. Sponge! Damn it. Well, at least I know I have my my go-tos here. So, bop, 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 and bop. I know how it's going to look now. Boop, 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 boop. There, there, there. You have to put a thing there so we can pickle. Pickle. There we go. A little bit of light. That looks good. Instead, you know what? I'm going to put you there. 2 seagrass there. Or 2 seaweeds. No, because that would look too much. Put those 3 there. I don't think it's going to grow. That'll be like that. You can't really see it unless you're up to it. But that's how it's going to have to be. I'm okay with how that looks. It's a little... It's not quite there yet. I put that in there. That's okay. Do I want to put them there and there as well? Nah, because that would be too much. That just kind of lights up the background. I think, Let me get some blue and red. Fine, 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 fine. Well, the blue. I go. Actually, I kind of like that effect. I like that effect a lot. Yeah, I like that. I actually really like that. And then we'll get a little extra seagrass right there. If I do that, and just put a little bit there and there. Remove that. It's like painting. Sometimes you make a mistake, you gotta paint over. Can I put... Yes, I can. There we go. Right, and I also have to remember that this isn't going to grow because of how I have some settings, so that's as high as that's going to get, if I'm not mistaken. Well, it might get a little bit taller, but even if it gets a little bit taller, that's fine. Okay, that looks a little bit more full now. It looks a little bit more full. I'm okay with this. Yeah, and the different shade of... You know what? I was worried. I think it's because it's a different shade of blue. It's not too bad. I gotta admit, that looks pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. So now that we have that, it's actually lit up pretty nicely. A little... thinking of it now, it's a little shadow box-like, and I really like that. In fact, I might also... If I pull this, where is it coming from? No, it's going to be there. I was going to say, if I put like another like hint of a pillar here, can I extend that? And I maybe could. We'll see how that works. Okay. Area 2. This one is dark forest, but it also is underground overgrowth. So we want moss. We want mushroom. We want some glowberry as well, but we'll get that in a second. Trying to now think what the light... Oh, lighting glowberry. And then certain other plants. We want the flowering. For now, that'll be okay. Maybe a little bit of jungle vine, but... Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we can use here. But the one thing I do need is a good set of stairs. We should go with a wood stair. Very dark, not spruce. No, I think we'll go dark oak. And... that. Because everything else is going to be light. Oh, right, this needs to be moved back. So the top platform is going to be wood. So if I go dip, 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 dip. Like that. You there. Like so. And then we go you, you, and you. go with a second wood in a second, just to see how this all looks. Yeah, it's a bit one note, especially when that and that corner. Won't look great. So maybe we will use spruce then, or not oak, maybe spruce. Jungle? Oh, cherry would be. Not as dark as I thought that was going to be. Oh, stone would actually, maybe a stone. Maybe we get, because it will be stone brick. No, because that's going to be stone brick. So yeah, andesite. Some polished andesite. Tuft we don't want. If I do... No, this... Okay, now I got it. That... This... Oh, wait, these are polished andesite. No, that'd be too much. That'd be too much andesite. Maybe just regular stone, then? No, that's way too gray. Blending in with the floor. Am I gonna have to change the flooring again? Damn it. Could be granite, actually. The red wouldn't be horrible. It's not horrible, but it's not great. No, because blackstone, deep slate, that's all... No, that wouldn't work. Copper? I would have to work copper into it. How would I work copper into it? Abandoned thing? I'm trying to think. Maybe a lost no, not a lost expedition, because it would have to be from a temple of some kind. I legitimately don't know. So you know what? We're not going to. We're gonna remove this, and we'll come back to it. From the ones that we have a little bit more know-how about. Let's do them first. So, bop, bop, bop. Gotta flashbang myself again. There we go. So this one is Crypt. This one is the Crypt. So we are going to be taking on Let's see, stone bricks. Maybe some chiseled. Getting ourselves just some regular oak stairs and planks. We'll need mossy as well, actually. That's not a bad idea. No, they don't have... There it is. Mossy. They don't have cracked, which is unfortunate. I'm trying to think... No, I know that. I know what. Okay, so what would I do first? What is the base circle? So what's the? Is the base circle the mossy, or is it the regular? Because I could interchange. Interchanging ain't half bad. That's not a bad idea. Because it doesn't have to... Here we go. That's for later, and we'll take cracked as well. Because it doesn't have to be... It doesn't have to look exactly like this. Maybe that's why I fucked up the last one. So if I... okay, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to put you like this. We're just going to make it. And then these go here and here. Ooh, wait, what is the lighting gonna be? Probably copper. I don't know. It'd be candles. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it would be candles. So if I grab functional blocks, or lanterns, but no, I think candles. We go with... No, they were going to be... There were black candles there, wasn't there? We're going to have to take a small trip. Take a nice trip with the good ship. La-leap. Have to remember. It's hard to remember these kinds of things. It was indeed black candles. Whee! Off we go. While we're flying, I'm going to take a drink. Take a sip of something. No mouse control. Oh, okay. E. So I put... Yeah, I can work with that. I can fuck with that. That's not half bad looking. That and that. Beautiful. And then... Bring that back, thank you. And then... We start fucking everything up a little bit. Do we have... I do believe we have cracked stairs. No, we don't have cracked stairs. We have cracked stone, which we definitely want to put a couple down. Lovely. And then we're going to want to grab like so. go, like that. There we go. Yes! See, that actually looks pretty good. Put that like that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. The oak planks we'll work on later. It goes all the way up to that. Okay. Just gotta remember, because we're making shadow boxes after all now. We have to make them similar in size and look. With this, at least in scope. Though I have an idea already on how I can change that, because I do know... Oh, do I use... No, I did use spruce. Okay. That I do remember. Have a little bit of a framing job here. And then we need to put it back... 1, 2, and then the wall. So 1, 2. Yep, so I have to hollow that out as well. Nice, nice. Splash. So how do I want this? Do I want... Actually... Yeah, that's what I'm probably going to do. Spruce here and here. Yep, that'll work. Because that's kind of mirroring that with the archway. Then that's what is essentially holding up the crypt, or at least parts of the crypt that are still functional. That, correct? This one changes just a little because it's not dealing with water, so I can have that like so. Then, what's gonna go here, which I haven't fully figured out yet, is like a catacombsy vibe of, like... You know how in Skyrim, when you go into a burial tomb, and you had the little outcroppings with the dead people all lying in there? Kinda like that. But I'm still working on the motif and the look. So right now, I'm just gonna put some cracks in the floor and a couple splotches of moss. There we go. Just to make it a little bit more uniform. And like the stairs and the plinth that's going up on. Yeah, that looks nice. Ooh, these are coming together. These are nice. You place it there. It's like little decorations. Place it there. Decorations. Ah! I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the look. Alright. What's next? I don't want to do this. Because again, that's kind of placeholder question mark dungeon. This I have an idea of. But I want to actually get in the dungeon and kind of play around before I, like, solidify an idea. The nether we can probably do. This one I have an idea for. Let's do this one next. Because this one's going to be special. So I need, I think it's deep slate. Kind of do a little bit of the same of what we just did. Deep slate tiles. Tile stairs. Chisel deep slate. Because I don't know what the color of it, the lighting of things is going to be here. Infested deep slate, good to know. So, what's the palette we're working with here? Either that... Yeah, those are going to be the corners. This. Yeah, that's what we're going to work with. Very spooky. Very cool. Okay, so then we'll go with this. Correct? No, reverse that. Switch it. Reverse it. Drop it down low. Yeah, get the bow with it. Hands up. Witness all a couple of Holy Spirits. Something wicked. Better. A little bit more standing out there. That like that. I don't know what the lighting in the deep dark is like, though, so we're going to have to work on that later. Man, that's decently lit up even with only 3 candles. Actually, with how lit up these things might be, we might not even need the wall. Not the floor lights. Oh, yeah, there's... Just reminded myself of the music behind me. You may or may not be hearing. The last stream I did, for the first time ever, got slightly muted. I don't know... It's never happened to me before in Minecraft, or at least the Minecraft stuff that I've done on streaming. But for some reason, a tiny, tiny little bit of music got flagged and then muted the section of the stream. So the VOD from last time I did Minecraft has a little muted section in it, which has never happened to me before. It was very weird. Also, I'm realizing I don't know how the Deep Dark really looks. So here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, because we've got the Shulk stuff. Here's what we're gonna do. So yeah, if you watched the last stream, or the last VOD of the stream, and wondered, oh, why is this little section so quiet, even though I was talking, that's why. And then, of course, the reason why I'm mentioning it now is the music that's playing right now. Maybe this little section has been muted, so you'll also not hear the answer to that. So you'll probably ask questions in the chat. I don't know. Chat or comment section or whatever. I don't know. We getting close? I think we're getting close. So yeah, let's do a little scout mission here as to what the hell the Deep Dark looks like. Because despite it being out for quite a while, I have not played Minecraft normally in a very long time. So I actually don't know what this whole area really looks like. So, we'll keep that there. Alright, /creative, that's not what I wanted, /spectator, there we go, in we go, down we go. It's gonna, I pressed spacebar twice to drop myself, but that didn't work. There's a dungeon, oh, there's a little thing over there. Alright, we're going all the way down, because I need to see architecture. Ooh, okay, see that's really good to know. Alright, also, go into creative so I can at least grab myself some stuff. Don't know which one I just got there. Why is that always so small? Sneak under a skulk sensor. Sense that. and it gets the sensor going. Huh. That's cool. Alright, so we've got tile stairs, which I'm not a huge fan of. Also, why is it wool and not concrete? That's very weird. Yeah, we got deep slate stuff. Ooh, good to know with that. Yeah, all of this is going to get completely overhauled when I jump in here and do my stuff. Okay, actually having a weird ice area. It's like there's little shops or something down here. That is weird. Okay. Note to self, that's pretty creepy. Oh, with the lighting now going off. Yeah, no, this is real fucked up down here. I like it. I like it a lot. It's giving me dungeon ideas. We've got things up here. There's a lot of loot. Now, I have it set to warden not spawn. That way I can at least control everything. Or at least control the fact that he doesn't spawn. Because I don't want the warden to spawn if I don't want him to spawn. Big no-no in a creative map, I would think. Okay. This has given me some ideas, though, which is good. Yep. Alright. Let me just do a little whoop, hidey in here. There is something here. How? Does this... Why is... I didn't actually know this was a thing in here. Alright, now we're in nothing. Weird experimental stuff. Is this like telling me, hey, this is how redstone works? 'Cause that's kind of weird. Not gonna complain about it, that's cool, but... So wait, how does this redstone work? The door. It opens from this, getting switched. So how would we get in to begin with? How would you get in to begin with if the way to enter is locked for like that? That is weird. That is so weird. I guess because of the sensor, right? Let me go back here. So weird. Huh. Alright, well that gave me enough information that I needed. So let's go back to the temple. Oop, have everything load for us. This is not the correct way. I don't think. Nope, I completely went the wrong way. Oh, you know what? I can just do this instead. You raise me up so I can drop to the ground. Because I have keep inventory on. There we go. Back to the set bed. Just a second. A couple ants. There you are, you little sons of bitches. You. Go away. And you. Where the fuck did you find this? Honestly, the fuck do they think they are? I hate it. I hate it so much. Like this is an old house. I live in an older house, so there's like molding, not mold, but you know, molding is like decorative stuff, and you know, with old houses, you get old floors, and after many years, they kind of move around a bit. So there's this tiny gap in my floorboards, and they just love coming through that. It's just like practically in the middle of the room, and they're like, "No, we're just gonna come out from there." I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Right. Anyway, forgetting everything we just talked about. Let's go. We need Shulk, Skulk. Now I don't know. I will be very clear. Don't know if this stuff spreads. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. But it's a little scary to think it might. So, alright, let's start off with... Let's start off with, because we've seen it now, we're going to take tile. We're going to take, not polished. Not the wall either. No, we're just going to grab this. I'm going to change the flooring too, because we're just going to use the tile here for the edging. So we're going to go with, that's black stone. Here's the deep slate. Do I want to reverse it? I think I want to reverse it. Yeah, I kind of want to reverse it. this, this, there. This, and that. Come here. A little better. And because we know blue flame is a thing, I think blue flame, no, maybe in the back would be better, but we did have candles. I'm actually wondering if I want to put candles on all of them, but for now, no, we're okay. There we go on that. You and you. There we go. And then the white stuff here. Lovely. So that leads up to the skulk. And I want to put in a little bit like that. So. And with that, here's what we're going to do. We're then going to go with some deep. No, we want to go with blue ice, packed ice. I think it's blue ice. It's ice and snow. I don't know if this is gonna melt. Ew. I don't know if this is gonna melt. See, what I'm thinking is as we get you are now hinted at the fact that this is under the snowy mountain, but it's gonna need a little bit more than that. This and like that. Okay, and now I'm trying to think, because I need something else. Maybe a little skulk vein, a sensor. Oh, it's a C. Now the calibrated skulk, I think, is a little bit different. That gets walked on. that's cool. That's not going to work as well as I want it to. I think I do want blue flame, though. So I'm going to have to finagle some shit. Because it's soul... Either soul sand or soul soil. That makes blue fire. Yeah, here it is. Do I want a mirror? Not necessarily. Because fire and fire would look nice. But that is the harder... Well, I guess we can put the fire... Yeah, fire and fire. Keep that on that side. Okay. This needs more work, though. This absolutely needs more work. So we'll leave the fire as is. And then what? It needs to be higher. It needs to be taller. Needs stone. Okay. It doesn't look, it's still not looking right. Something is off. What do I need? I want this to have... Not there. I want this to be like... Snow. And mountain. And then below it, ice. And then... No, it's still not, it still doesn't look great. Still not quite there. Maybe because this shouldn't... Oops. This floor should be sculpt. Maybe that's it. That goes like that. And that. Then we do the snow. We kind of raise it up to a peak. Like that. And then we get packed ices. We're just going to do packed ice. Like so. And then the veins and skulk can kind of peek through. Actually, no, we'll do the regular skulk. Like that. Bit better, actually. Needs some light, though. It needs a little bit of brightness. Because that right there is pretty dark. I mean, that's not totally dark, but it's dark comparatively. But for now, it's okay. I don't know if I'm 100% on with the ice, though. Yeah. That might be okay. It's a little blank up there, though. This one turned out so well. It's like, it's tainting everything I want to have happen with these. A little bit of that. Ooh, that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I like that. Yeah, no, we can work with that. Little bit of that behind. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. I can work. I can live with that. Let's take a nap. Maybe it'll look a little bit better when there's a little bit more light. Probably not, though. Not inside. Yeah, no, not inside. But it looks good. I think it looks okay. We can work on it another time if need be, but I'm okay with that. So now we're doing nether. That's not where that is. And of course, we're going to make the red. Oop, nope, got to get rid of all of this. Got to get the red. Got to get you. You two. Do we want the highlight to be red? Yeah, we want the highlight to be the red. Do I actually want this all to be... It's a little one note. Let me do a thing first. I do the deep slate. Do I have any... I'd have cobbled. Ooh, we can kind of put a few cobblestone deep stuff. I keep doing ew every time that happens. Ew. Some cobble. Yeah, this ain't half. This is okay. Kind of the same as the... Same idea as the mossy brick here. Just kind of sprinkle it just a little bit in as a flavor. Ow. I'm surprised that's not blue fire when we get caught on fire with that. But nevertheless, that's just an extremely weird observation. Alright, so that's this. No, wait, that doesn't go there. There. U3. And U3. Come on, get the stairs proper. Okay, I got an idea on what to do there, but I think we go with the natural, some lava and magma. We'll light this puppy up. There we go. Do I want to set this on fire too? No. No. How much light does magma give off? Probably not a lot. It just looks cool. It doesn't have yeah, light there. Yeah, no, that's all staying put. Alright, good. I'm okay with that. Okay. But we will be wanting that lava magma. Do I want some prismarine over here? Nah, this is fine. That's actually the one perfect one that we have. There we go. And then we're just gonna do this. So this one is actually pretty easy. We're gonna make the plinth, or the altar, nether temple, and the background is just gonna be regular nether. So let's get that situated out now. What is the highlight going to be? I'm gonna say warped stem. Some of that. Don't need the red brick. Missed one. Yeah, the nether rack. We'll get ourselves... Oop. There we go. There's the 2, so yeah. Probably be able to see a little bit better. There we go. Gotta remember 4 in. Alright, so let's make then a little diorama box. There we go. So we're gonna need natural things. A little bit of soul sand. A little bit of lava. We're not gonna put a... Maybe we'll put a bone. Some warped fungus. That all looks good right there. Nothing functional. That's functional, but not technically. Ooh, I put some crying obsidian in the no. Give me that. Okay. I was originally thinking shroom lights for these, but the fact that I'm doing 2 fires... Ooh, do I want 2 fires, actually, and put shroom lights? How does... And it doesn't really change the lighting, but then again, I can't see the lighting right now. No, that's fine. You know what? I'm going to do it shroom, because only having this as the fire actually also kind of makes it unique as well. So we'll do that. I need a bucket of lava. I need a bucket of lava. You know what? Let's put it on the other side, because I don't want that to maybe melt. Not that I think it's going to, but if anything were to go wrong, yeah, that's going straight over there. Then we want... Do I want that soul sandy? Yeah, I do. Nice, nice. No, you know what? We want that. Like so. Lovely. I like that. And then, this needs height. What's this that I can use? Ooh. That could be creepy. There we go. There. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, so... Oh, no. Wait a minute. I mean, okay. Now that I've done it, it looks good, especially because it's crying. It kind of drips just a tiny bit. which is nice. However, where is Nether? Not Crimson Root. Here we are. Twisted Vines. And Weeping Vines. With some Warped Roots. I wanted to do, instead of that, nah, that looks really good, because that will go up, and those go down. Yeah, that goes down. But I really like this now. So what I think I'll do then is we'll put... Oh, I think because they need a different lighting. Oh, you know what? It needs warped grass. That's what it needs. That's why it's not coming out. So let me get Crimson. Because we've got Netherrack stuff there. There we go. Put that there. Put those there. Yeah. Can you climb this? Yes, you can climb that. That, a little bit there. One splodge. No, let's go with some red there instead. There we go. Yeah, because that does a little bit more... It doesn't blend in as much. I like the hanging... Ah! That looks good. A little bit of lava flow with a puddle, a little bit of soul sand, and hot as fuckness. And then we got the nether growing with some hanging stuff. And I think that's actually going to give me a really nice starting point for the dungeon. Because I think the plan is it's going to be a loop. It's going to be one really big loop. Whereas you start through the portal, and you make your way through the forest, or through the... I mean, we'll have to see how the nether looks when we generate it. But we go through the portal, we find ourselves in a forest, we have to traverse the forest to the dungeon, and then you go through the dungeon. At the end of the dungeon, of course, you get all the stuff, and then... just happens to come out where the portal is at the end. So it's just going to be a big loop. That way I don't have to worry about a second portal anywhere. Any shenanigans with that kind of shit. But, yeah, the hanging obsidian not only is giving me a weird dread-like motif, but that could be a really difficult jumping puzzle that you could try and pull off. That could be interesting. Yeah. Alright, well, we're looking at that. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Yeah, I really like this one. I really, really like that. Alright, we're doing that. We got the weird purpley stuff, which... Yes, it looks white, but it's snow, so it's a little bit different texture. And you got the weird stuff. Yeah, that's good. Plus, it's a little hint of where it might be. This, no hint whatsoever. It's just a nether fortress, or it's a nether thing. Good luck finding that. Yeah, that's a catacomb. Maybe I should do a little bit of something with that right now. This, I have an idea, but the base is what is throwing me. Zero idea. But I don't want to lock myself in too much right now. So you know what? Let's do this. Because I can pull this off just a little bit. Well, first and foremost, skull. Then... any other function block here? Maybe a decorated pot? There's some stuff here. Maybe a hint at where it might... well, no, you're gonna... if you talk to NPCs at the castle, you'll kind of get hints as to where it may or may not go. Or may or may not be. Maybe some chains. Grab that and maybe we'll take a look at that. Oh yeah, glowstone. I thought I was going to use glowstone here. Oh, you know what? Needs to... yeah, I'm okay with that. I'll work that. Gonna say, I thought I was gonna use glowstone somewhere else, but I guess not. Alright, underground. Yeah, the pale hanging moss, we're not gonna do that. Moss and stuff is... I legitimately thought that was real lightning, and it was right next to me. I got so... I was like, what the fuck? Oh, fuck me. Oh, that really got me. I thought that was real. Right. Ooh. Got a little bit of an inkling of an idea coming along with something else. Maybe we'll get back to that train of thought if I remember it. Alright, I need oak slabs. Check. I need some kind of polished, smooth stone or slab like that as well. That is real close. And then not on the copper. Okay, okay. So, if I want... I'm going to need a sign. Regular smooth? Regular smooth. No, just a regular sign here. Because I had an old way of doing catacombs. Or at least, like, crypt level something or other. So we'd have the wood kind of wood there. We'd have bop 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 little slots, you know, put the dead person in. And then something in there. But the problem comes from now I can't put some decorations in. That I'm realizing. I'm thinking then if I do this and this, maybe a little taller. There we go. I can do this. Put a skull here. Something like that. That's not terrible. And then over here, what would I do here? Kind of the same. that's a little bit of a space. I do actually like the gap. That, like so. And if I just get regular... I was gonna say regular cobblestone. Because I need some upper bits. I need something up here. Oh, I like that. A little bit more dimension. A lantern? A lantern wouldn't be the worst. If I put the lantern here. Like that. No. Lantern I'll put here. Because then I can put another... I was going to say, can I connect a skull to a skull? But no, I can't. So, zombie. Couple hanging chains. Not zombie, but... There we go. And we'll have this guy turn. And this guy be the flat guy right there. Like so. Okay, that's not bad. Let me just clear this up a little. Let me take a look. A little bit of light. Yeah. Nah, that one. That's not gonna work there. Alright. I like that. That came together a little bit better than I thought. And actually, this helps me a hell of a lot when I do decide to start up on the dungeons. This is actually gives me a pretty decent frame of reference for putting little slotted crypts areas. So that is really, really good as a future design thing. With the candles at the edges. Do I want... Oh, there are 4 candles. Okay. Candles with the edges. I'm not seeing things anymore. Or not seeing things. I'm not, don't got the splash vision on me. Okay. That's pretty good. This one. This is what I had a slight idea when I was doing this. Despite it being question mark, the theme of the dungeon is still going to be the same. It's just how the fuck the dungeon's going to work is its own its own thing. So I'm going to grab... I got to remind myself of a few things. Let's grab... It's a little bit like this, but not really. This. And that. Definitely cracked. Unless I want to... Yeah, no. Definitely keep the cracks. Because it's very similar. The crypt... And... No! No. That's what I... Yeah, okay. Nope. Nope. I remember now. Now I got my brain sorted out. Get the brain sorted out. Purple. It's a purple. It's a purple party. Hey, it's purple. It's a purple party. So how is this gonna work? Is that. Now I'm fucking with the motif, because then that's there, and then it should be here. Should be there. So you know what? It will be. But I'm not going to color that. That'll be that. Alright, that. Alright, gray wools. Questionable wool color, absolutely. We'll figure that out later, but I do know how it's going to look. That I do know how it's going to look. There. Perfect. Oop, fuck. You fuck up one stair and they all just kind of domino affect you. There we go. Okay, so bop and bop. What are we doing for the center there? Little end-rod action for our light source. It's been a while since I've been to the end, so I don't remember what they use here. I'm going to do to the wiki. I'm going to go to the wiki. Biomes. Climate areas. The end. And highlands. Structures, the end city. Is it literally just end rods that's lighting everything up? Wow, this is actually kind of cool. They're actually showing dimensions here. That's what everything is all built from. That's cool. And yeah, it's all just end stone. No, that's that. Okay. That's not bad. I can work with that. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Do I want this? Or end stone? No, we want this. There we go. And then boop, boop. Light. Okay, so we want one. Okay, this one might be easier to do. So, because of its location and what we're utilizing, it's going to be end themed. However, there's going to be an end theme here going, but the initial mosaic in the background is of a mine shaft and the not an end temple, but the place where the gate is, because you have to go through a mining, a natural mine shaft to get to the temple. So, what I'm thinking is, first and foremost, we grab this. need to do that. I don't... what do I do for the outlining here? In fact, I don't even know if you... You know what? I don't think that's actually going to look good. So we'll do that. There, let's put in the background. So bop bop and here. A little bit of dirt removal. Luckily it's not too much, so it's fine. Up we go. On that. So how do we frame it? How did I frame this one? It's kind of gonna be the same. I'm gonna want spruce wood instead, though. Like this. And that. And we're gonna want regular stone? No, I do want those, not a chiseled. And then we'll need normal stuff. I'm gonna need a functional iron door. That's gonna be fun. I got an idea for that one. And then we'll get that in itself, but we need stone. Like so. Oh, I just thought of it. Yeah, yes. Okay, so I want it to not be too tall. Like that, or do I want it to be flat against the wall? Flat against the wall. So that way I can do that and this. Oops, shit. Like so. And then I want natural blocks. Some diamond ore. And some iron. And where is a rail? Because technically it's functional. It doesn't need redstone, but I guess it will need redstone at some point. this. Can then go like that. We want diamonds. Yeah, we don't want that going anywhere. Not like I'm putting a minecart on here, but there we go for that. And then we're going to want to add big old chunk of dirt. Because again, shadow boxes, we can add a little bit of dimension here. Add some iron to you, which answers the hint of where this is. It's in a mine shaft underground in an end temple. And then I realized that my splash potion is gone, and that's lit up real nicely. So actually, I don't know what I'm going to put in the center here, but I don't necessarily think I'm going to need lights actually in the floor. I mean, there might be a contraption in the floor that once you put everything in, then you know, unlock the secret. Which I still need to figure out. Totally don't have a non-endgame thing in my thought process. Just realizing the back's a little... Do I want that? No, we're fine. No, it keeps with the theme and all of it. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. Okay. You know what? I think we're only going to get like a couple seconds of sleep. Because it's about to go daytime anyway. Boop. But... yeah, and then this... what color do we want that to be? Brown? I mean, none of it really... I mean, I could just do rainbow. I could just do rainbow and be a bitch. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. No, we'd still miss one. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple... something. I mean, I could just reorganize the colors. Because I'm not moving them. I did all this work, and I'm not moving them. You know, no, I like the fact that I chose the colors. It's not the thing that you should be doing. Like, the not... I'm okay with this. I'm okay with it. In fact, I need... Let me see here. Yeah, I thought it had concrete, but it... Pink... Purple... Orange... Cyan... Dark green... A light gray? Yeah, light gray. And then mystery. Oops. Again, I don't know if or how the blocks that I'm going to be using, or command blocks, work. But I want to at least be like, hey, you have the wool? This is where that wool goes. Place it here. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and I don't know what that color is going to be. I'll leave it white for now, because that's what we have it as in the color wheel over here, in the reference sheet. But I might change it. Boop. Alright. Let's see. These are the hard ones, because I have half the idea. Alright, in this one, I know what the dungeon is going to be, but the theming and the design is nowhere to be found until I actually start poking around and trying. Where the opposite here is the case. The theming, I know what I have, but I have no idea what I'm going to do with the dungeon, so the structure of everything is completely gone. So these I'm thinking I'm going to leave blank for now. Because until I actually start working on the stuff, I'm not going to have... I don't want to build it and then be like, well, that didn't work out. Tear it down. These guys, I know, other than that one maybe, but like these guys are set in stone because this one's themed in the Nether because it's in the Nether. This one's in the Underdark. That one's in a crypt. That one's underwater. And then that one, I know the location. The location isn't going to change. The theming might shift a little bit, but the location is there, and the location technically is also its theme. So that's that. Ugh. For now, it's actually not bad, though. This isn't a bad start. I mean, 5 out of 7 altars, not bad. Not bad at all. Now I just have to start on the dungeons. But no, we won't. Because now we can get rid of these because they've been moved into that room there. Change that up. Okay. So now that I have that, A, what's the design going to be here? And how do I pull that from these? B, what's up here going to look like? Excuse me. What's up here going to look like? I don't know. I really don't. I'll be honest though, my brain's a little... I think I'm on my tail end of creativity right at the moment. So we might actually just wrap up the stream there with that. With how that is. Do I want to do the little pattern in the grass? Not really right now. I could... I wouldn't say it's necessary, but the keeper of the temple... I remember I said I wanted it to be close to the place, but not in, like, eye shot here. I did just have a thought, though, and I kind of like it. I actually really like the idea. Okay, maybe we can work with that. Watch yourself. Show me what you're working with. So if I start... like this. 3, 3, 3. I want it to end here. I don't know why I chose 3. Especially because it's not working. Move this back a bit. I do 2 then. It'll end closer to where I want it to end. And it matches out, actually. Okay, so yeah, maybe having it 2 is going to be a good idea. Let's do that. Let's sleep there. Get proper lighting. I'm doing an ant check right now. I just looked over. Where the fuck did you get that piece of food? Like, I have been really good. Gotta take the headphones off. I've been really good with crumbs. But even still, you motherfucker. Yeah, move my footrest here. I don't even know if you can still hear me. Just hear me mumbling in the background. Ugh. They're just in that little crack, and I can't do a thing about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure not now. Maybe later. Gonna get some wood putty and just fill that all in. That might actually have to be the way to do it. Of course, then they're just gonna come back out from another hole. It's not the first hole that they've come out of. That, because I have a baseboard behind me. There was just, it was not pretty last year. I think I mentioned it last year, actually, in another video I've done, I don't know, somewhere. And I vacuumed like a couple days ago. Maybe I shouldn't eat upstairs anymore. Maybe I shouldn't. How does that look? That looks okay. I can work with... yeah, no, you know what? That's going to be good. Oops. So we're just gonna make this like so. And then really nice stuff's gonna happen. We're gonna do hedges. Okay, pull back. I mean, from the sky, no one's gonna see it. So let's pull down here. Yeah, that looks okay. That looks nice. It widens out for you. That yeah. All right, now his hedges are now in the menu. Flowering or just the normal? Because the flowering, I mean, that just looks great. Normal, however, I don't want to necessarily use the same flowering hedges here as what this might be. That's the only concern I have. Nope, that's not gonna... nope. Not gonna make it gray. Yeah, see what a mangrove one looks like. Acacia. Nah, that looks too tropical. Jungle actually doesn't look half bad. Because we don't have jungle trees in our area, so gotta do the bottoms. Okay. So if I go all the way back here. And we walk. Yeah, it doesn't take away. It doesn't take away from that. looks nice. That looks really nice. And yeah, leave this all open. Do I want to bring this out a little bit? Bring the path. No, because I actually kind of like the ground widening out. So that's going to be like that. Now, the question is, do I decide to do that as well? No, because it then blocks the other pillars and the ends there. If there wasn't anything there, and the grass just kind of ended kind of like this, then maybe. But since it's going to be up against the dirt, I don't think that looks as good. Oof. Ooh, that's nice. And what's even better is that from coming here, I mean, obviously these players are going to immediately jump the fence and just climb over the wall here, which, sure. Which actually makes me think, maybe I should put the house over here so they're like, oh, do we jump over or do we go to the house first and then have to, ooh, that might be the case. That might be the case. But as we go down here, it's just the blue really pops and is like, oh, that's eye-catching. Yes, you can kind of see the edge, like, from further away. You can see the lights from this. But that's way more center-focused. And then as you get in, you see the others. You look around and are like, oh, okay. That's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a hell of a lot. So yeah, I think I will. I don't know if I want to put it here, though. Maybe a little bit back. A little bit back in the trees. Because that's not the focal point. It is a point of interest. I want it to be noticeable, but I don't want it to overstate or be like... I don't want it to be like... I don't want it to take away. Which is why I'm a little worried about trees and how I'm going to make this area look good. Because as of right now, yeah, I mean, it's just grass and stuff. I'm going to probably do a lot of flowers. That's probably my go-to move. But I do want trees. And I think if I put trees down here and over here and around there, that's going to take from the focal point of that facade. So I think if I am going to put trees, it's going to be more back up here, around the back, not blocking necessarily, but around in this direction and back here, and we'll leave the top and the edges, and I think I definitely want to put trees down in this direction here, because that at least accents, doesn't block. That might be the case. I still got to do a lot of landscaping, though. Like, there's some uneven bits, some tiny, like, pop there. Make it look nice. That I like keeping. That stuff. See, it's just the little things. It's just the little things. And maybe some of the tall grass we can clip. We'll definitely want to put a little bit of grass, but yeah, I think mostly from that line here, from that, like, hill line here, up to kind of where the road is here, kind of like a curve up to here, and then all the way down to basically where the road, the grass hits the road, maybe not quite on it, maybe a little bit over in a couple places, but like back here and then over here we want flowers. maybe like a couple trees, but not too many, and like a couple, like maybe a couple trees over here, and more, and a couple over here, just to be like, oh, the woods are thinning out. But we want, if we go from the bridge here. Oh, you know what? Even better. If we go from the road, all right? Because right now we're just, well, we've been told by an NPC, you've got this wool from that one temple. Go down this road, and you'll be able to find from the temple. No, you've got the wool from the dungeon. Go down that road, you'll see the temple. So going down this road, hello, Mr. Pig. You don't see it yet, which actually is okay. You maybe caught a slight glimpse of the white, but probably not what you're paying attention to. Going over here, didn't realize there was a bee thing. Ah, yeah, see, you can kind of see it from here. I like the idea of there being trees behind it, though. That's fine. But still, not really quite sure what that is. Signage here being like, this way to such and such outpost, watchtower, and this way to the temple. So you go this way. Maybe on horseback. Maybe you did that side quest. Maybe you have a horse. And then now that you're coming out from, yeah, we'll definitely put a few more trees down here up to where that tree is. Then you're like, oh, that caught my eye. Even in the dark, it catches your eye. It's like, what is that? Follow the road. Now there's just a bunch of flowers everywhere. Like, tons and tons of flowers. Might go a little stir crazy with flowers. You'll see that. You still haven't seen the true facade, but hopefully by this point, when you would decide to be like, oh, let's just beeline it over there, you'll see a house, a small house, maybe a little chimney with a smokestack coming out, and being like, oh, that's something there too. Let's go around. And then, oh, that must be the temple. You go around it, you'll see this. You'll go check out that. Well, maybe you'll check it out after, but then you'll be like, oh, that's rather big. That's rather cool. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, now that I am looking at it here, and I'm walking it, maybe I should put trees up to this point, because up to like here-ish, up to here-ish, it'd be obfuscated. And then not the big reveal, but then the reveal of, oh yeah, that's pretty big. And there's already something here, though, that catches your interest that's closer, so you're going to want to go to the closer thing first. But you still got your eye here, and then you go in here and being like, hi, I'm the caretaker of the temple. You here from the temple, for the temple? It's just keep going down the road. You can see it right from here. And then you'll go over here, and then there'll be some signages over here as well. And then, bam, straight down the center. This is how my brain works. I don't know why, but it does. So yeah, maybe we will put at least to here. At least here. At least here. Tree. Yeah, we'll figure. I mean, we'll cut the difference here, but I think from here back and along this line of a hill, Like, back to here, all the way back over to this area. We'll put a couple more trees in there as well. There'll be more trees. It'll be thinner, but it'll still obfuscate and not make it as obvious what's there. That way they can also be like, oh, well, I'm supposed to go to the temple, but this way says there's something else. And then I've already done the run, or the walk, necessarily. You keep going in this direction, and then bam! Well, not very bam, but you see a little, like, even in the dark here, I mean, definitely in the dark, you see a little something, and then right there, you see the light, and there's going to probably be more lights around, but you can see it from here and being like, oh, there's a watchtower. I'm happy how this turned out. I'm happy. It's nice to just talk through the thought process. And right now, this is good. So, okay. What's next for this little area? Well, finish up the landscaping. We need to make the... Yeah, we finish up the landscaping with the trees and the flowers. Make the caretaker's hut or something in and around this area here. I actually really do like the idea of it being here. So let me just... trim a couple trees. There we go. We'll just kind of clear an opening here, because I like how this is all connected. Maybe we'll cut a few more. Right, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Gotta make sure that that's not touching. There we go. I would use fire if I could, but fire spread is not on. So yeah, we'll maybe trim a couple more trees back, but this'll be where his house is. If I see a hole, you gotta fill the hole. There we go. Make sure nobody falls to their death. Oh god, that's a big chasm. Okay. It's the tiny holes we want to fill. Yeah, so there'll be a little thing here. Don't know. I mean, there'll be something here that catches your eye, but the house will probably be over here. Maybe a little separate path. That's not going to catch your eye, though. Still, the fact that we got all that sorted actually is a very good step. I said it throughout the entire thing, but having now a frame of reference for some of the dungeons is really going to be useful. Yeah, no. The fact now that I have something with the crypts is pretty damn useful. This all looks nice. I'm actually really happy with how that one turned out. This one I think is still my favorite. And to be determined, but still pretty damn good. And these two are still question marks. But I'm happy how this all turned out. And now I want to know what I'm going to do next. Well, no, landscaping, obviously, but I don't think I'm going to do that on stream. What's the next thing we want to do on stream? Maybe... I think I said it last stream that we did Minecraft. Maybe I should finish the roads. Because then I had frame of reference to place other buildings. Because the reason why I didn't fully commit to roads was because the walls weren't built. And now that they're kind of, they're at least skeleton to getting meat on the bones, I now have guidelines, so I can go around with those guidelines and set up a road structure. And then, yeah, connect all that stuff. So then, when we have the main road situated, we can then figure out where mini caves and tiny encounters can be found. I think that might be the case. I think next time we'll do roads. And yeah, that might be the case.